Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Racing at Royal Britannia. Cracking. Apologies for the delay, chaps. Sometimes Gmail likes to act like FBI and doesn't make life easy. But we got there in the end, so that is the main point. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the classic, beautiful classic cars on the show today, here in Great Britain, Silverstone. A track I've been to many a times, for various different races, and I'll say one thing, it's always a great weekend. Though personally, not my favourite to race on the game, but that's just me. Oh, we've got one comment already. I don't know if I can see the comments. I'm not going to touch or anything like that or interact, because I know as soon as I touch something it will go off and then we'll go back to square one. It took us 2 hours to get here anyway, so but good luck to all the chaps racing today. Obviously all very excited for the release of the new Formula 1 game, Formula 1 2020. I believe for some, if you pre-ordered it on PlayStation Store, I think you get it midnight today. Or midnight, I think it's like 1 in the morning maybe, or 2 in the morning following day. I know some people it varies at times, but I think it's on the 10th if you've ordered it on disc, so I pre-ordered it for the 10th, so we've got to wait a few more days, but apparently I've heard the reviews today and it's very good indeed. Oh, I can see the group chat. Okay, there we go. CTN Clan PS4 says this is going to be a class race. I can tell. I mean, it's wet. We've just started the half an hour practice. I'll commentate obviously where I can. Obviously, we know the excitement comes from the qualifying and obviously the main race. So if I'm a bit quiet at times during the practice, obviously I'll keep an eye on everyone and keep you up to date with the timings and stuff. But obviously I won't be too engaged, because I mean, practice is practice at the end of the day, chaps. We know. Gareth Godkin says we're only here to see the Rizzle. Well, Rizzle personally did say to me, make sure I'm getting the airtime tonight. So the chaps racing, you're going to have to put out some good racing. Stop Rizzle getting the limelight. So if it's anything like Azerbaijan, that may be otherwise. Right, I do have control. I think everyone, a few let's go on board with some people. Let's go on board with Hog 1234 in the 2007 Ferrari F207. Beautiful car. Pretty sure wasn't that who? Was that Schumacher's bad boy that he won his championships in? Go on, I don't know who went out first. They're going down the old straight of Silverstone. That is actually the old straight. I actually remember, I think the first race I ever saw there, they were on the old straight, like Mark Webber. Obviously he won that race. Christ, that was 2009 maybe? 2010, that's a long time ago. Probably over a decade ago now. Mr. Webber was at Red Bull. And then I was hooked ever since. But Silverstone is always a really, really good time. I'm sure a lot of some of the guys in the chat have probably gone to Silverstone before. It really is a really good weekend. I actually went 2018, a couple of years back, and obviously England were in the World Cup, and we just beat Sweden, and Lewis Hamilton qualified P1 on the Saturday, and we beat Sweden on the Saturday. It's just like the perfect weekend, full of English. We're just really happy. But I'll always tell you one story. That basically with the qualifying, we didn't really know that Lewis Hamilton qualified, because obviously you just have to hear by the tannoys, and there wasn't really, they had obviously the screens up, but then everyone was demanding the changes to the World Cup, and obviously cheers were going off about Hamilton qualifying P1, so you did know, but all the Welsh, the Scottish were really, really angry. You know, they paid hundreds of pounds for Formula 1 content, and then they've changed over to England v Sweden. But we were complaining. Plus, it was literally the end of qualifying. We all basically knew that Hamilton did get P1. But then he actually that race he was P1, went off on the first corner. You might remember. Vettel won it, but to be fair, Hamilton came from last, the second. So. Right, there's quite a lot of yellow flags, but I imagine that's people just slowing down. As you can see, the conditions aren't the best, but it is Great Britain, and what else are we known for? It being wet. No one's even set a time yet, have they? I don't think so. Danny Heckamper, I think I've said that one. Good evening. Gareth Godkin, hello Simon. Hello Gareth. And I'm on board with who I don't know. I'm still on the Ferrari. Let's see. Let's go on board with. God, the Ferraris. Let's go for something like Steve. I always remember he was quite fast in the Renault. The one thing I always do have to remember. Oh yeah, and we just caught on board with Steve. 1:48.118. In the 2006 Renault, which I believe that was Alonso's winning car. But he's just put on a 1:48.118. But Temp Shattuck is 1:47. So much better. So the times are starting to come in now. So first Temps _ Shadow of 1:47.428. Steve 1:46 though from Tasmalaras. Excuse my pronunciation of some of these names. What I should have is like stickered next to your name. That's what maybe in future I might have to do. Instead of reading PS4 names that were probably created over a decade ago. PS4 Racing Series. I've gone into the Williams on accident. Oh dear. Oh, race control. Sam Carl has got a 5 grey grip penalty with Temp Shadow. Let me have... that's not good, is it? I didn't actually see the incident, but clearly there was a bit of an altercation. And a 1:45 from Migichi M08. It looks like a bit of traffic for the McLaren. It's always the issue with practice, because you don't want to cock it up, or you don't want to do something bad, because it does affect your qualifying. You know, and I think practice is all about free flow. You know, you want to kind of be a bit chilled, but then obviously you've got some nutter behind you doing an unbelievably fast lap. You're just kind of I mean, Jesus! I mean, people whizzing in on earth of the track at the moment. I mean, there's warming up the tyres, but then there's being too slow, and you think, cars goes into you, see you later. Let's go on board with the main memories, or then let's give him a bit of the limelight he so desires. He's in a 2010 Red Bull Racing RB6. He hasn't done a time yet, but I imagine he's on his lap now. Yellow flags in Sector 2 and Sector 3, but a lot of this will be slowing down, not so much incidents. 23 minutes gone in the practice so far. I'll always remember, obviously I did race last week, and I have to say the Red Bull was brilliant around the corners. Though on the straight, it just really got torn apart by McLarens and Williams and basically every car. But of course we know Rizzo will want to be doing a bit better this week. Silverstone, it can crop up. Obviously we don't know how the weather's going to be. And if you're not on it with Silverstone, it can come back to bite you in the backside. So it will be an interesting race. A lot of great drivers out there today. It's a very competitive field. And 1:44.58 from the Brawn from Days 12. Days. Underscores, fun scores, I know that. Right, I think Rizzle's gonna. I think he's doing his fastest lap now. We got a 1:49, but let's see if he can better that. I know he's a bit quicker on Silverstone. Got the green helmet on today, but obviously tricky conditions. You don't want to do, like I say, anything too crazy out there. Just want to get a feel for the track, because we've already got a 5-second grid penalty, and it is quite annoying. And you know you can do quite well in qualifying. Doesn't show the true representation of your race. Oh, he slid. Riz has lost control. It's the fame and glory of being centre stage of this live stream. It's got to his head, and he is off. And it was looking quite a good time as well. But that is the limelight over for Riz, unfortunately. Let's go on board with the fastest man in the Brawn at a 1:44.588. It's a good time. But he is going into the pit. And Gareth Godkin says, "Ha ha ha ha." As obviously, I can't hear any of these guys. They're all in a separate chat. So they are listening to the stream. So there's probably mild banter going down over there, but obviously, like I say, I can't hear anything. I can just see in the comments on my right hand side of my screen. Let's go on board with Harry Coulter in the 2010 Ferrari F10. What a beautiful machine that is, ripping it around Silverstone. It's all about hitting the apex beautifully, I think, in Silverstone. If you can connect it, it's kind of like a movement. It's kind of like a body rhythm. You know, you got to kind of jive with the kind of track, you know. But as Rizzle beautifully showed, he jived a bit too much, and it was c'est la vie for Mr. Rizzle. We're on board with Harry Coulton in the 2010 Ferrari F10. You can just see everyone's a bit cautious. I haven't seen many people just flow through the apex beautifully at the moment. But obviously it's a bit kind of tricky conditions out there for the drivers. It's not raining too much. It was sprinkling. Steve Penny, jeez! Let's get on board with Steve Penny. Bloody hell! I guess the track's obviously clearing up a bit, because that is quite the gap. Where is Steve Penny? There he is. In the 2010 McLaren. I mean, we know the McLaren's fast. My friend Jensen Button used to race in that beauty. A beautiful sign picture. It's just above my head while I commentate on this beautiful race. But 1:38.5. That's a really rough. And a 1:35. I'm going to take a prediction here. I'm saying the track's not as wet as maybe I thought it was. So this will be interesting. But we're going to stay on board with Steve Penny in the McLaren, the Vodafone. For me personally, that's the best in McLaren. I know people look at Senna. It's actually a very, very entertaining race. So it's good to see F1 back, and it's good to be here in Great Britain, commentating on this great race with a lot of great drivers. JMM Sprint goes with a 1:34.9 in the 2007 Ferrari, but we're on board with the McLaren. Can Mr. Penny do any better with his time? I'm about to find out. He goes around the last corner, down the straight, beautiful speed, and that was a great lap. You could just tell in that last corner he was not mucking around. That's a 1:34.611. Really interesting. Obviously a lot of the cars are chilling at the moment in the pits and just kind of gauging. I'm just going to take a brief pause on the commentary. I'm just going to share the link to this race so wider audiences. Connor McDonald says, come on. Hopefully the internet's all fine. Did have a little message popping up saying having a few issues maybe? No, I think it's fine. I can hear my annoying voice. I have invested in, I think they're TP links, so hopefully the Wi-Fi should be a bit better. We had a bit of a mare last time, it decided to kick me out multiple times. And temp show, bloody hell, 129. Obviously now people are really starting to put in the good lap times. Daz with the Brawn of 129. I think Brawn could be a favourite around this track. I mean, all like the McLarens and everything like that. But I think the Brawn, I think it's just got that kind of good. It's got good grip on the apex, and it's very clear to see. On board with Tasmelaras in the Ferrari, 2007 Ferrari. He's on a 130.6, and as you can see from 7 onwards, I mean it's tenths of seconds, you know. Hardly anything at all. See if he can better his time. Is he going to get a better time? Radovai hits the apex beautifully, and it puts him up into 3rd. So it seems 129 is the kind of pace that the chaps are wanting to kind of get near. Obviously the weather's picked up a bit. Alex Murray, Martin Giles and Aaron Barnes are all in the pit. They're just like, I can't be asked. YOLO. We're just coming up to 10 minutes, coming up to halfway through the race. I'm just going to run through the times now. Like I said, apologies if I do pronounce the name incorrectly. Daisy on the fastest one of a 129.7. CTN underscore Sam Curtis YouTube is on a 129.953. Tasmalaras is on a 130. 0.81. Temps underscore Shadow on 130.198. Jesus me! Tamaralas. Bloody kamikaze are that, what the? He was just like, I've had enough of life. That looked like, that didn't even look like a... Alright. Bloody Elspeth. Is he alive? Okay, well, that's that then. Okay, no, alright, well. I mean, Tamaralas is on a 130.81, but I think he's dead in the process, so if he's in quality, who knows. P4, Thames underscore Shadow on a 130.198. Browner 88 on a 130.213. JMM Sprint on 130.708. Steve Penny 57 on a 130.843 in 7th. In 8th is Hog1234 on a 130.99. On a 130.900. Rizzle colon sticks 91. Bit of showboating earlier, but I think he's kind of redeemed himself. In a nice P9, I think he'll be happy with that. A 131.306. JMM Sprint has retired. Probably done the same as Tamara Rolaz and Kamikazes. Steo 93. If memory serves me right, from Azerbaijan he was fast. I may get told otherwise in the comments, but I think he was quite fast. He's in 10th, level 133. You got to remember, for a lot of people, practice is just to kind of gauge, obviously, the track, and literally is the most boring part of the race. But we know that. 129 from day 12. Once again in the brawn. That brawn is serving him well. Milton Matt colon IRC on a 132.85. Him Carl 25 on a 132.589. 13th. Elliot CPF C08. That's a shame because I'm a Charlton fan. I'm going to presume he's a Palace fan. He's on a 133.230. 14th. Magici. What name? Magici. On an M08 133.244. Harry Carlton. 15th. 133.449. 16th. Danny TM96 on a 134.716. And Fisio Alpha on a 154.696. He's just like, can't be bothered. Let's go on board with CTM Sam Karts YouTube. I'm not sure if he's on a fast lap. By his speed, I'm going to say no. Let's go back on board with Mr. Rizzle, the 2010 Red Bull. He's cutting some pace now. He's hitting the apex beautifully, a bit wide there. No, I think he's going into the pits as well. Bloody hell, every time I move to a car, everyone's going in the pits. It's 9 minutes 17 on the clock now, so people might still have a Coke or something. They're probably having a bit of mild banter in the group chat or something. We're on board with Steve in his Renault. Well, I'm pretty sure he can pull out some fast laps, but then again, look, we're on a different track. We're in a different country, we're in different conditions. There's a bit of a pile up actually, for there's a McLaren in front of him, and there's a McLaren's in front of the Ferrari, I think. See, that this is, they kind of eyeing each other down. Maybe there's a Red Bull. I always remember those engines. Was it the, wasn't V10 engines? Was that what they were called? The V10 engines, but I always always remember that race I went to. It was 2008, 2009, I think it was. Whenever Mark Webber won it, and you could always hear the F1 cars on the opposite side of the track. But nowadays, you know, you go to Formula Ones of recent times, and you only can hear them when they're in front of you. Rarely hear them when they're on the opposite side. But I do much prefer the old engines. And probably why I'm probably half deaf today and got severe tinnitus, but. It's all worth it for the love of Formula 1. Right, we're on board with Steo93, and he's going to go on his fast lap now. Now let's see what he can do. He's got a McLaren in front of him, but I don't know who the McLaren is. Can't seem to see. Yellow flag in sector 1, sector 2. I'm going to stay on board with. He's belting it down straight. God, the speed. To be fair, he's probably getting good slipstream, so this could be a good. The only issue is you don't want to be right up the backside when they're on the last corner, which you get a bit carried away sometimes. But is the McLaren going to get out of the way, or is he going to? No, I think they're going to continue. Macca says Dazza in the lead. Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm new to this commentary, but by multiple people that seems quite the shock. Like a 20-to-1 kind of one. You're like, oh bloody hell, that's surprising. I can't get the vibe this McLaren's kind of hold up this Renault actually. Oh my god, it's getting a bit feisty for a practice. Calm down, ladies, come on. It's just a bit of a practice. Interesting to see what Steve gets in his time. Oh, did he avoid it maybe? I don't know. Well, isn't that a pity? We've got 6 minutes left, and according to Macca's, Daz is in the lead for 129. Someone's obviously been getting the practice in. But we'll stay on board with him. Gareth Cogkin, too kind. Sky commentary for you next year, Liam. Lad. Oh, it's La, isn't it? Is that Newcastle, is it? Lad? All the same, thank you very much, Gareth. I would take that as a huge compliment. I think the key to commentary is to try and spruce it up. Put in those kind of beautiful magic moments, usually coming from Rizzle when he spins out. To kind of give it that flair, you know, because F1 can be a bit of a dry thing. Oh, Scouse. Is it? I'm from Liverpool. Anyhow. Thank you, Gareth, nonetheless. Thank you, Ryan, for clarifying. Maybe, you know what, I actually did meet Croftley a couple of years back. They done the F1 show on the Thursday at Silverstone. And, yeah, no, there's Crofty when you need him. Actually, you know what? His commentary was really, really good at the weekend. Really, really good. Just nice to hear that kind of, you know, lights out and away you go, you know. Who else has come? Have I not been on board with? I will try and get on board with everyone today. I'm not one of those people very biased at the front. You need to have a look at the whole field, because you can get some right cracking pieces of footage, if you want to say. On board with... I don't know who even I'm on board with. On board with Brown, no, he's in the pits. On board with Sam Coults on his outlap in that stunning McLaren. Just look at that metallic silver. I don't know what the right terminology is, but it's just very sexy to look at. On board with his outlap, so Sam Coults, this is your time to shine to the millions that are watching. Elliot CPFC has joined. What happened to Elliot? Did he... All I said was I didn't like Crystal Palace, and he's gone. Okay. Gonna get complaints from Crystal Palace fans now around the world. God, look at that speed! Oh, that is such a shame. I was gonna say actually, Sam Coults went a bit very wide then, unfortunately, so his lap will now be null and void. He was like, I had the broadcast view there of it looking really nice. I was thinking, Jesus, he's going fast, to then realise he's actually flying off the side of the track. But nonetheless, it looked good from my angle. So coming up, 2:48 on the timer. Nearly the end of practice, thank God. Oh. Apologies. I understand his profile then, I didn't. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I was saying, 2:16, 2:15 on the clock. Some really, really good. Is there a point for fastest practice lap? You know what, Macca's? That is a really good question. I'll put it to race control. See if they'll come back to me in my private little booth. I'm going to say no, but I'm not the man who makes the rules. So don't hold my word to it. There's always like loads of yellow flags. Someone called Magichi's very fiery. That's one thing I've noticed with the Red Bull. He's very goes around those corners, and those tyres will be shredded after a few laps. But it's great to view and it's great to watch. He hits the apex beautifully. Let's stay on board with Magichi, MO8, in 2010 Red Bull Racing. Ironically, actually, probably the one I saw when Webber was racing and won. Slowly, surely does it. I mean, hopefully we hope for good weather in qualifying and the race. Because I mean, the rain aspect, of course, does give it an interesting factor. But you see a lot more crashes, which, of course, for the viewers back home and watching this live, it's entertaining. But I think a dry race, you get to see the bare brunt of great racing, and have to wait and see. Magichi went a bit wide there, obviously picked up a bit of gravel as well, so I'm not sure if his luck will really reflect it, but we shall see. On board with Elliott CPFC08. He's in the 2003 Williams. Now, I think that was the one that was absolutely blitzed Azerbaijan down the straights, but not so fast around the corners. But truth be told, Silverstone is pretty straight most of it, or just kind of long, big curves, so it may work in that man's favour, but not so much on the time board. He's got a 1:33 and another fastest lap. Daz, what is going on today? Someone's had their Weetabix. 2009 Braun GP BGP 001. Yeah, retire, because I don't think anyone's beaten that one. Absolute belter. And obviously practice has now come to an end. We've got a remaining time just for the remainder people who are finishing off their times. On board with Brown 8.8 in the 2006 Renault. He's in P3, regular time 1:29 at 6.66. It's too shy from obviously getting a 1:28, which is a very, very good score around this track. But like I say, some people give half heart during the practice. It's just to kind of get a feel for the track and know where those little apex are, the cheeky ones that can sometimes end your race, like Rizzle we saw earlier. Can just catch you. You think you're on a bomb-in lap, but bosh, gone in no time. I think everyone's done. And there we go, that is practice over. From a commentator's point of view, that is glorious news, and also from your view, because this is where it heats up. See, hopefully it'll give me the times. So Daz with a 1:29, Hog with a 1:29.5, Brown with a 1:29.6, Temp Shadow with a 1:29.8, CTN Samplecast 5th, 1:29.9, Fisco 04 with a 1:30, but remember that's a 5-second grid penalty for Sam Carltz, which he will be annoyed about. Fiesco 1:30, Samalaras with a 1:30, Steve Penny with a 1:30, Steve Yo with a 1:30, JMM Sprint 1:30, Bill Triton Matt in 11th and 1:31, Rizzlesticks with a 1:31 in 12th, him Carl 25 with a 1:31.34, Freeze in 13th, Magichi looking good around the track today, but only in 14th for 1:32. I couldn't see the rest. We ran out of time. And qualifying begins. In the meantime, I'm just going to get a Coke and a refreshment, so do bear with, and I will be back to kill your ears even more. Just give me 2 seconds, lads. And the cars are going out, and we are on board with Elliot CPFC08, who is, I believe, the first car out and about. And 16 minutes on the clock. I believe this qualifies as a the qualifying format that they use on here is just basically the clock itself, so there's no Q3, Q2, Q1 on that malarkey. But I'm very excited. There are good cars out on the track today, and obviously they're all in up. It's got a Red Bull and a Brawn in the far distance, if I believe that is to be Daz, then... Oh, is there someone else then with me? PMP_Mac. Is he there with me? I saw another name pop up. Obviously let's get the tyres warmed up and ready. So we're on board with Elliot CPFC08 and the 2003 Williams FW25. An absolute belter of a car, a lot of history. Let's see what can be delivered. Alright, the first lap has begun. He's hit a bit of dirt already, so that's not going to be the best, but flies through the apex. Unbelievable speed. Carefully does it, not taking up too much of the apex. Sometimes in that corner it's the best thing to do when you've only had a lap of warming up your tyres. Looks a tad overcast, but I don't think there's any rain yet. He's got a Red Bull behind him, which is Rizzle, I believe. No, Rizzle's still in the pits, so we're going to go back on board with Elliot. He's got a bit of pressure from behind, but so far, so good. Touching those apex just nicely, looking good. Good speed. Got to be careful on this chicane because it's always... he's done it perfectly, to be fair. This could be a fast lap. We're on board with Elliot CPFC08. And fast straight down to the last few corners. There's a Brawn and a Red Bull behind him. I don't know if he's going... Jesus. After him to get on board. Is that Daz? It is Daz. God, there's a bit of a tussle going on there. Let's get back on board with... on board with Daz. Looks like they're fighting out. I don't know who he's... Is it Mikichi? He's fighting off with Mikichi. Bloody hell. And here we go. Oh, okay, here we go. Daz with a 129.5. Superb again from Daz. Even it got a bit held from Mikichi there. A bit rash, I'd say, probably on the track. And he's held up again. JMM sprint on a 129.4. So whoever takes Daz there is, I don't know, Mikichi looks like he's doing deliberately. He's kind of halting up a little bit. I don't know what's going on. Is there beef going down? If I was, oh, Temp Shadow disqualified from the session. Let's go on board with the 2.8. Oh, he's been disqualified apparently for driving the wrong way. And just by catching the last camera, I'm pretty sure he was just trying to turn his car around. So, wow, okay, that's interesting. But wow, okay. Temps_Shadow is out, disqualified, and he was third. So he had a really good time. But obviously, something gone wrong a bit there. I don't know if that was a I don't think he was driving the wrong way, but who am I to know? We're on board with JMM Sprint with the 2007 Ferrari. Currently in P1, an absolute belter in the first lap. Quite happy with that. He might just go back into the pits. Mackie, I can hear someone else. PMP Mac. I think I've been joined by someone else. Let's go on board. I think Rizzle was doing his outlap. We're on board with Rizzle. I believe he hasn't started his lap just yet. But the times as follows. We just hit the 12th mark. JMM sprint on a 129.498, fastest lap. Just shy of that, on a 129.5 is Daz 12. Had a really good practice, now that reflects very well into qualifying. Brown AAA88 on a 129.869. Hog 1234 had a half decent practice, but doing a lot better in qualifying on a 129.887. CTN underscore Sam Curtis, YouTube, 130.168. He's in the pits at the moment on 5th. Bilton Matt on an IRC on a 131.631. Tasmaras has gone 5th on a 129.9. Harry Carlton in 132.384. Germans on 129. People getting better time. Steve's gone on a 130.085. Back to Harry Colton in 9th on a 132.384. Elliot CPFC 132.542. Danny TM on a 133.007. Makichi on a 133.103. And Rizzle Sticks on a 135.419. And I'm sure he knows he can do a lot better than that. Let's go on board. Seems the top boys are all in the pits at the moment. German Sprint and Daz. There's a yellow flag in sector 1, but I think that's probably just held up a little bit. People being courteous in this game, letting the fire as it should be. Oh, a bit of a tussle between Rizzo. I don't know who the car is behind him, but we'll stay on board with Rizzo. I think he's got Fisco, is that? No, he's got a Renault behind him, sorry. Sorry folks, I do that thing where it clicks on view profile and not spectate. Broad. Bit of a slow car from the... Is there 3 Renaults on the track? Crikey, I think there is. Everyone's a bit slow out there, it's a bit of holding up. Could be tactical, couldn't it? You know, sometimes you don't have to really stop a fast car from going through, just your presence on the track can be enough. On board with Bilton Matt, who I believe is putting through a fast... No, he's going into the pits. On board with Elliot CPFC, obviously he's going to want to try and get up the field, preferably in the top 10. He's not too far off. Only 3 tenths off Harry Carlton, so if he can work his magic, he might be able to get back in there. I'm pretty sure Daz isn't going to want... I also just seen Samaralas on a 129.529, so he's overtaken Daz, and obviously Daz was speeding earlier in practice. A really good time, and he just shy of a 128, so he knows he can do better. But I mean, you look at the top 4, or top 6, all on a 129. It's so minimal margins. Really, really good drivers in this field, and I know the kind of mindset of these drivers. They're gonna want to be at the top. Did Elliot improve his time? I think he's on a fast lap. Let's see if he can better from the Williams. That dodgy chicane. It's a yellow flag in sector 3. Yeah, didn't really hit the apex there, so he knows he's been a bit cautious. So it might lose him some time. But the Williams, one thing he does have is the speed of the straights. Picked up a little bit of gravel on the edge there of the straight. Into the fast last few corners. It is no time improvement from Elliot. I think he's gone back. It's gone to 12. So McGee's just gone up to 7 from 132.258. We're on board with Rizzle. He's on his outlet. And while he does that, let's see who else is that. Daz obviously still on board with Daz on a 129.5. Gone in the pits. Maybe he's kind of thinking he can't get better than that. 7 minutes 21 on the clock, and a lot of them now will just be kind of thinking the process. kind of doing the analysis of the Silverstone circuit, thinking, right, am I hitting those apex correctly? No. How can I rectify that? There's going to be a lot of deep thought process going on here. On board with fifth score 0-4. Maybe he's just starting his lap. On board with Steve. I'm pretty sure he can do a better time. Right, a lot of them are starting off their laps, but we'll come back round to them when they're near the end. On board with Harry Carlton. He's going to obviously want to try and get back into the set, but no, he's gone off. No, he's not going to get back on the track. And there's a fast bomb right behind him. With Danny TN96, who's currently 14th. Can he better his time? He's got a 1:33.007. A bit wide on the apex there, but is he gonna better his time? Rumble with Danny TN96. And he betters his time by 1 spot, up into 13th. On board back with Rizzle, and I know he's definitely not going to be happy with that time of 1:35. I had a few issues in qualifying, clearly. Something just not working with the car today. A bit wide on the A. Seen quite a few of them really not trusting the apex today. It's quite interesting to see. But you do have to be cautious with Silverstone. Third in sector 3, and we presume that's just slow cars, which it is. And can Rizzle Steve have a 1:29? And Rizzle, I don't think, moved his time. Steve a 1:29.327. Well, memory did serve me right, but I thought he was a very good driver in Azerbaijan. Talk about pulling that one out of the bag in the last minute. That's what he does, isn't he? It's like the anticipation. He knows he's going to get that feeling. And there we go. 1:29.37372. And round 88. Oh my god. With 1:29.289. Right, the fast laps are coming in now. On board with Daz, because I know Daz is not going to be happy. He's been pushed back to 5th. He's on his outlap, so we'll come back to him. Let's go back into Makichi, looking quite fast in the Red Bull. A bit wide, no, he's not. He's up for right, which is Harry Colton. Pushing for that. God, this confidence right now. No. Just done it again. So Steve's gone in the pits. Round 8. Just pulled out one out of the boat. 1:29.289. Unbelievable that. And there is 3 minutes 33 on the clock. On board with Makichi. And can he better his time? No, he can't. 1:32.258. Wow. I mean, look at that. Top 8 are all on a 1:29. It's literally tenths of seconds, isn't it? On board with Daz. He's brilliant practice. No one near him. He's getting near 1:28s. Now currently 5th, and that just goes to show that I think practice really doesn't show the eye of a true driver. But he's going to be pelting it. Oh, he did cut that corner quite far then. Did he invalid, I wonder? But maybe not. So it looks like it's going quite fast, and maybe he didn't. Speeding it down the old... Oh, he's gone very wide there. He does. I don't think this lap's going to be any better, but picks up a bit of dirt on the apex as well, but you got to go for it, you got to use him. Down the last straight, he's belting it down there. Wide again from Daz. Such a shame, I think he was having quite a good first sector. There's 1:48 on the time, so they will be able to get another lap round. Well, there you go. Don't listen to me, ladies and gents. Daz with a 1:28.683. That is impressive, because the amount of times Daz went wide there, he must have made it up for his straight line speed. So kudos to you, Daz, a 1:28.683. What did I say? On board, that was a great lap. So I think we know who's going to be P1, but I could be proven wrong. We're on board with Tomás Rolas. The Ferrari's in 5th. Like I say, there's hardly in it, and he's looking fast. Onto the dodgy just chicane, which I call the Wiggly Worm. That's not a proper name, but only in certain corners of Silverstone or Gambon. Ooh, he's got a bit wide there, but he picks up enough on the apex. 49 seconds left to get your times in, boys. Everyone's going to be out on the track, but it's going to be a bit busy. Only Riz, I just realised Riz is up to 11th in 1:31, so a lot better than his 1:35, and he knows he can pull that out of the bag. He's finishing 9th in practice. He's gone a bit wide, the Ferrari. Has he bettered his time? We'll have to find out. No, he's actually gone 6th. But you've got 20 seconds to get in a last lap if you're thinking about it. Because if not, ladies and gents, this is coming to an end. Oh, 1:28.646. That's just bettered his time. I think he may have. Some people in the limelight, they just shine. And that is qualifying over. So Danny TM96, we're involved with him. He's near the end of the grid in 14th. But I know he's not going to want to finish too far back. He's got good last speed coming into the end. So are you going to better his time? We're about to find out. He does. He's gone to 12th, 1:32. But I know there's still a few people out there. Oh, fuck. Done this again. I know, knackers. Daz is on fire. I know he's pulling out the bag, mate. Absolutely pulling out the bag. Oh, it's always my favourites. Well, I'm going to run through the grid though. I know not all have finished. JMM Sprints, no. On board with Hog. He's currently in 8th. Can he better his time? He's actually finished his lap. I think that's it, isn't it? So we've got Daz in P1, Steve Penny 57. Apologies, Steve, I think I missed out on that one. In 2nd place, Brown AA 8. That's your top 3. Then Steve in 4th. You did put in a blind in first lap, but other people were like, no, we're going to go better. Fiesco, underscore 04 at 1:29.4. Tarajaglas 1:29.453. In 7th, JMM Sprint at 1:29.473. 8th, Hog 123 1:29.8. So close at the top. Bilton Matt IRC on a 1:30.127. CTN Samukat on a 1:30.168. Rizzlesticks a lot better from 15th, now back into 11th. Did finish 9th in practice, so maybe a tad disappointed, but still credible enough of a 1:31.463. Like I say, not much difference in that. You know, 1:31 to 1:29 is seconds, if you know, it's so minimal. Danny TM96 on a 1:32.007. Magici MO8 on a 1:32.258. Harry Carlton on a 1:32.384 in 14th. Elliot CPFC08 didn't have a good practice, didn't have a good race qualifying either, and he's on a 1:32.542. And then 16th, Temps underscore Shadow, which he disqualified. It was weird because I was on board with him, and it just looked like he kind of just turned the car around to get back on the track, but they disqualified him. Gareth Godson says, hard to see past Daz for the win. Hodsey past Durst for the winner. Yeah, so the Irishman. There's a lot of Brits and English, but Daz the Irish, the single Irishman, is out putting shame to the grid. But obviously there was a 5-second grid, wasn't there, for Steve, I think? Someone there was a 5-second grid penalty, I don't know. I think it was just Steve in practice. So imagine that moving red flag, like I say, I don't know. But that is a very tasty grid, like I say, from literally 10th, a second, to the top 10, it's just a second. This is going to be a very exciting race. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The British Grand Prix, Silverstone. Liam Edwards says, great quality chaps. Yep. Have to tend to agree. Absolute brilliant qualifying. Everyone's spot on. Really, really good with the Apex as well. Does look like a tad grey out there. Could the rain be on the way? I'm not 100% sure. I haven't got the weather forecast, but that would make it interesting. It's 1 lights, 2 lights. Oh! I've just been tricked. I have to remember that there is a drive around. I thought that at least you just went straight to the race, and I was like, Jesus, let me get in position. Warming up those tyres. So here is the grid. First position is Daz. Second, Steve Penny 57. He came out of nowhere. Fair play, Steve. Third position, Browner 884, Steve Yeo 93. Fifth, Fiesco 04. Sixth, Samaralaz. Seventh, JMM Sprint in the P7. In eighth, it's Hog 1234. In ninth, Bolton Matt Colon IRC. 10th, 691. He's gone up a few places. Someone must have had a group, and I'm not sure. Degrees of finish 10. Pino's B is in the top 10, so good for you. Danny TM 96 in P11. McGeechy in P12. Harry Carlton in 13th. Elliot CPF C08 in 14th. C10 Samrakas. I think he may have been the man who had the penalty. Someone. He's 15th. 16th, Temp Shadow, who actually went third with his timing, but then got disqualified. Very random, who knows. And we've been introduced to him, Carl. 2, 5. Simon Broaden says, must be a nonce, sounds like it. Christ. Maybe he's going to be a nonce. Jesus. Been called worse, to be honest. Right, I'm just looking at Caravan at the moment. I'm not actually looking at... Why am I stuck on Caravan? There we go. It's weird, I go on Daz and it puts me on a Caravan. Alright, I'm going to go with Steve. Simon Boren, the commentator's sewage, no good to man or beast. I don't know what you up to your spare time, Simon, but playing with man or beast isn't something I do. But what I do know is that Lights Out is nearly happening in Silverstone, the British Grand Prix. Rumble with Steve Penny, because when I go on with Daz, I can't actually see the lights. Now I can see the lights. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's 3 lights, it's 4 lights, it's 5 lights! And it's Lights Out, and away we go at Silverstone. It's an absolute beautiful start from Daz as he comes up into P1. Going through the first chicane, he goes a bit wide. The Ferraris are flying forward face. Jesus! The Renaults have 2 men behind. 5-second penalty for Harry Clayton. He's got a severe collision. Oh, sorry, it's for McGeechy with a severe collision with Harry Carlton. And Daz stays out with Steve Penny just behind him in second. Brown in third. Steve in fourth. To Samurais in fifth. Him Carl gets a 5-second penalty. Severe collisions with Rizzle. And let's go to the back of the grid, because that seems to be where there is crashing. He's done an overtake of the McLaren. But he's got a bit of a... Oh, he's been held back again. It is... Everyone's going a tad wide, I think, so far early on. Let's go back at the start of the grid. Jesus, slightly going 5 wide on the first chicane. You've got Steve Penny right up the back of Daz. The Renaults are running wide. Everyone's going wide. It's all a bit overshot. You've got to remember there is no DRS. Flying through. Let me get on board with the... Oh, someone's gone wide. Steve's gone wide. Steve's gone wide. Steve Penny 57 has gone wide. And he's gone back down to 6th. But Daz is now going to be under pressure. He has got Brown A88 on his backside. You've got to remember, I think it's the 2 Renaults. Yeah, the 2006 Renaults are right on his backside. This is going to be interesting racing because they are teammates. And Daz for 140.4. Flying around this track. He in no pace at all. No problems. All for the second lap. It's still very close at the front. But Tavares is right on the backside of Steve. He's got the slipstream. But as you can see now, the gap is definitely widened. You've got to remember, no DRS in the classic car, so it is all slipstream base. Let's come over. Fisco's got company on his backside. Oh, McLaren's gone for the leech. I do apologise, my controller just gone out of batch, but now it's back. Fisco is in 5th, so here we go in the lap 2 of 26. Daz 12, he's in P1, he's got the fastest lap so far. Second is Brown 88 on a 0946 behind him. Third is Steve on a 1.101. This top 3 is very, very critical, because it's all about getting that stretch away from the enemies, but it's very close at the moment. No one's really getting away from one another. Obviously, you know, certain cars will be better in certain areas, that being on the slipstream. There's again 131.686. Jesus. And he's actually extending the gap from 170 to Brown. I mean, the best point will be during obviously the pits. Obviously, that's where the distance can really work out. Let's move down the grid a bit. Rizzo, going back with Rizzo. He's now, I don't know what happened to him. I know he had a bit of a collision earlier on, but temp shows 21 seconds. Maybe he had to come in with damage. I don't know. I'm sure if any incidences, they will be put forward to the relevant people on board with JMM Sprint. 275 is in P7. He's right at the back of Hulk 1, 2, 3, 4, which I believe is his teammate. I think they're both Ferraris. If they are. And he's right on the backside. He's gone a bit wide there. So is there a bit of a chance of the Sprint to get up here? Inside, he's going up the inside here. Is he going to take the shake? They want to take each other out because they know Constructors Championship points. It's all simply to play for. You want to get up the grid together. You don't want to be taking each other out. Lap 4 of 26 here at British Grand Prix in Silverstone. The top 10 as it stands, Daz in P1, he's now got a 1.5 gap to second, so he is definitely improving. Brown on P2, Steve on P3, Terrazzo on P4, Fisco on P5, P6 is Hop 1, 2, 3, 4, P7 is JMM Sprint, P8 Steve Penny 57, P9 Boobs and Matt IRC, 10th CCN Samarkand YouTube, stage 14. Obviously the McLarens are now behind the Ferraris, so on board with JMM Sprint. We've got Steve Penny, obviously he had a really good time, but unfortunately went a bit wide. And Temp Shadow goes fastest with the Ferrari in a 1:31. McLaren's can't be inside the Ferrari, but he had to pull back. That is a shame. But we will have the slipstream here. The two McLarens are fighting the Ferrari. God, this brings back the memories. And a bit wide there from sprint. Still got the pressure of I do think the Ferrari do have just a slight advantage of this straight speed, but McLaren are very, very good around the corners. There's a yellow flag in sector 2. Is it going to crash? There's quite a few people going down. Bilton's number 7. Yep, 10-second time per speedy track limits for Bilton. Steve Penny, what's going on with Steve Penny? I was just on board with him, wasn't I? Oh, I think he's crashed. Yeah, Steve Penny's crashed. He's gone down to 15th. I don't know if maybe if it was a collision with sprint. He's now down to 15th. I think he may have damaged the wing as well. Oh, that's a shame. There's really good racing going on there. Claps, applause for the McLaren. Obviously, the home of the British Grand Prix. Simon Borders, is this the disabled league? No, this is the elite driving league. Very, very good drivers out here today. Peasants like you, Simon, don't get anywhere near here. I know that much. We're on lap 5 of 26. And a new front wing for Steve Penny. I didn't actually see the crash, but I'm sure Steve will give some form of added commentary. Rizzo might be able to overtake him. And he does. So Rizzo was not last. That's a shame for Rizzo. So I know he can drive better around here. Right. Oh my. Oh, there's a safety car. There is a safety car. I'm going to presume that was for Steve. But he is still out on the grid. Apparently I could be wrong. Right, okay, so this definitely does spruce things up. Let me get on board with Daz. Because I know he had a nice healthy lead. He was on a 1.5. But he has got those Renaults and those Ferraris right on his backside. This could be really interesting actually. Because obviously Constructors' Points is all to play for this. Daz is the lane wolf out before. We've got Stephen and Renault. Tomaso also. Well, he's in the Ferrari. You've got another Renault behind that and a Ferrari behind that. So it's literally all to play for when the safety car goes in. We're on lap 5 of 26. And this is interesting. Danny Tien got a 5 second penalty. Steve's got a 5 second penalty. Oh, Steve's gone in. But he's got a 5 second penalty, okay. Daz at the front, rearing to go. You've got the two Ferraris behind him with Tomaso and the JMM Sprint. Danny Tiem has left the session. I think he was the one with connection issues. Simon Borden still being a weird peasant, staying in the comments watching great racing drivers. Probably didn't get an invitation. Probably quite upset, bless him. I'm sure Mummy will pat his head better. As Simon goes to bedtime, back to the real racing, and obviously the safety car is out and about still. Lap 6 of 26, another 26 has really bunched up the cars, but they all know. They all know with the Ferraris and the McLarens. McLarens better around the corners, Ferraris probably better down the straights typically. But they're rearing ready to go. I can just see the pack, like a pack of wolves, ready to go. And it's been really good racing tonight, I have to say. It's really, really good entertaining racing. Still the yellow flags are out. I'm just waiting for that safety car to go back in. I think I'm going to go on board with Bill to Matt, who's actually gone up the grid very nicely. Yeah, because there's now obviously, There's only one load for McLaren. I think it's three Ferraris. Four. Four Ferraris, one McLaren. Someone's gone wide. I don't know who that was. Someone's just crashed into the wall. Was that Hogg, I think? Was that Elliot? Someone. This is the issue with the safety car, because people like belt it. No, sorry, it wasn't. I think it could have been a Hogg. I think he might have gone in. Be interesting to see if he goes into the pits. I imagine he's just damaged his wing. Yeah. Obviously that is a lot better now for the likes of Rizzo now to try and kick on and get in on the race. And it's a green light, the safety car has gone in and get up to the front of the... Oh my god, who's gone? Daz has gone flying wide. He got a bit excited now, he's got pressure with Tamazaras at the front. Got the two Ferraris right on his back, Tamazaras... Oh, he could have gone for it, just had the power with the Brunez. But he should have the better slipstream. Daz was going very reckless through that chicane, I thought he was a fly off. And he's going to have pressure from his teammate though. Gem sprint right on his backside. We're going down into the middle of the field. Nice got Magici literally behind him, behind Magici. God, look at the pack behind there. Temp Shadows. Got the Elliott CPFC 08. God, this is great racing. Oh, literally going about 4 or 3 in the machine. Oh, the Red Bull is pushing out that Ferrari. I don't know who. Jesus. No one is letting up on these chicanes. Oh, this is brilliant driving. Oh, everyone's gone wide. Magici's gone. No, Magici hasn't gone wide. Whistle is enjoying this because he's up to P8. Pisco's going down the straight. He's trying to overtake. Who's he trying to? Elliott. He's got Elliott in front of him. There is Sector 2 and Sector 3 yellow flags. People flying off everywhere. I can't simply keep up. Fiesco's gone a bit wide there. He's gone into the gravel. Elliott CPFC trying to look down the right hand side. Gapping the slipstream for the last corner. Steve's pelting it down with his teammate in front of him. I think it was a good overtake there, I think. Both flying around on the McLarens. Got a Williams behind a Ferrari, 2 teammates of the Renaults. But teammates there may be, they will finish high. Steve Penny. We know he can do a little bit. I think he went in for the new tyres, so he would be going faster. He's a fast loading McLaren. Harry Colton's having a battle with Rizzles. This is good, interesting. Let's see if Rizzle can do the overtake. He should have more power. The Red Bull, he's got better around the corners than the Ferrari. He's going for the overtake. He's got the inside and a brilliant overtake from Rizzle. Got at the inside of Harry Colton, and from looking a very miserable 17th. Still got the pressure of Harry behind him, but beautiful driving there from Rizzle. And in P7. Brilliant overtake there. The HD camera. The Renault I think is going up for the Ferrari as well. Fiesco overtakes Harry there, so Harry loses 2 places in very quick succession. And a 131.532 from Daz. Once again shining light. He's back to his 1.5 gap from second. Not sure if you can still hear me. I've had a bit of a connection issue, which hasn't happened all day. Do apologise for that. I think we're back on. We are back on. TP link lasted me quite long. In 1 hour 15, that's the first cuttage I've had, and that's very impressive. But we are back on board with Daz with a beautiful P1. And the fastest lap again, so yeah, I'd come back for the perfect time. She's just on 1:31.025. We're on lap 10 of 26. And Simon brought in, did you dribble on the PS4? No, I dribbled on your mum last night. So back to the Grand Racing. And Hog1234 is in P14. Ferrari. And sorry, I just got laughing at my joke there. Tomazzo's on 2. Oh, he's gone second now. Okay, so Daz in 12, Tomazzo's in second, JMM Sprint is P3, Bilton Matt in P4, Brown AA in P5, Steve in P6, Fiesco in 04. We've all got quite a few places from the back of the grid back into P8. I'm not going to lie, if the safety car came out more, that would be quite interesting for all. Because when it hunches up everyone together, it's the kind of the better driver, isn't it? That goes to the more authentic PlayStation 4 player. The car obviously does happen, I won't lie, but you know, sometimes I think Temp Shadow's on the back of Rizzo's got quite a bit of pressure. As the Ferrari comes up on the inside, he's going for it, Oh, this collided, and he's gone run, he spun. There's been a fastest lap, I think that's from Daz. Temp Shadow spun with Rizzo. Yeah, I think from my eye, I kind of saw Temp Shadow he went for it. In fair play, I don't blame him. But to my Rizzo stuck to his racing line, and just happens. He just caught the front side of the right wing, and unfortunately spun. That was a shame because he was really gaining on Rizzo there. But unfortunately, these things do happen in Formula 1. Let's go back to the front of the grid, and Daz is now 0.3. Jeez, the speed that man has today. I know I mentioned him a lot, but you have to mention when someone is driving around this track. It'd be incredibly well. Mentioning he's after one board with German Sprint, obviously got his teammate just in front of him, less than a second. And you mentioned DRS was on the classics, then you know what would be going on. And Brown AA88 is chomping down at Bilton in the McLaren. There's still, like, there's not, with the gaps of these cars, which I'm kind of noticing, is that there isn't a huge gap. That's again 1:30.4. Now moves up to a 4-second gap to second place. Let's go near the back of the grid. Harry Colton, he'll be quite happy with that. Simon Borden, the way you're talking, you probably want to hang out the back of Daz 12. Hanged out the back of your mother last night and she won't complain. Back on board with Harry Colton. Oh, got a bit wide there with the Ferrari, with the McLaren behind him, which is Sam Rakas. Or Sam Carter, should I pronounce it correctly? Oh, we have a new favourite fastest lap. Him Carver 1:38.2 of 1:30.219. So fantastic new fastest lap. Oh, this is great racing with the Ferrari. Harry is not backing down here. He's pushing for that McLaren of Sam Carter's. He's not letting him. He got past, but he wants to start getting back up the grid. Oh, the speed into the last chicane. Let's see if we can get a good overtake here, or if it... This chicane's always judging, he's gone wide. No, to be fair, McLaren is pumping away. Sam Carter showed his own, he will have slipstream though, the Ferrari. Down the straights, they are rapid. Is he going to go for the lunge? He's going for it. He's going for it. Did he hit the back of the McLaren? I'm not sure. Oh, God, it's good racing. On board with Elliott CPFD back in 13th. Bit of pressure from Temps. Shadow on the back of him, the Ferrari. And he's going for it. He's got much better stream. Hits down on the apex. Slipstream. Well, no, actually the Williams picked up the pace. The Ferrari would have better. The racing line, oh, it's tight. Fair play to Elliott, actually. Held out that Ferrari when he went up this. Has he got the grip? He should have the power coming out of that corner, but unfortunately, very worthy and very good battle. Elliott unfortunately lost the place to the Ferrari. Who haven't we been on board with McGeechee, who is in P16, not been the best rate for him. Didn't do too bad in practice, quality, but Danny Tien, who I don't even think is there, is in P17. Daz now has gone into the pits. Lap 13 of 26. Let's see if people. Oh, no, who am I with? Yeah, I'm with Daz. James Sprint has overtaken him. Well, Elliott's left the session. Did he crash? No, just seems to have left. That was a shame. Racing fairly well, but it's unfortunate that he left the session. Back in the Daz, who is in the pits and should come out 22-second gap between him and Samaras. And puts Daz back in 5th, so in top. So just one down the grid now. A bit more with him in the cars. I think there's a bit of a fight with him coming the Ferrari, overtaking the McLaren. With Temps, Shadow. Oh, sorry, that was Bilton. Who I did remember, he was pushing up the grid, but obviously he's had a few overtaken. And him, car 25 is just another. McLaren is coming out better out the corners, but the Ferrari kills you in the straight line speed. And we're lap 14 of 26. Let's go to the top of the grid. And he's up in P2. I'm not sure if Steve's done a pit yet. We'll see how that goes in, because James Sprint. We'll go back on board with Daz because I want to see if he can overtake the chaps in the pit, which I'm gonna say he does. Apart from Fiesco, who I believe hasn't pitted yet. Yeah, he's still going out strong, but 5-second difference between him and Steve. All cars out on the grid. He's gone a bit wide there. Looks like there's an overtake. He's going again though against Slammeris and the Ferrari. Near the back. Quite heavy there. So one thing I had the issue with driving the Red Bull in Azerbaijan, coming up the corners you are slow, but you can deal with the corners better. As soon as I turn over the camera, something happens. There's a yellow flag. Oh! That... Oh! No. Tell me I'm wrong. I can't spectate. Out! Is there a safety car? I can't see. What has happened to Daz? There is a virtual safety car. I'm going to need a debrief on that. Daz, what happened, man? But ladies and gentlemen, the man who's literally 5-second penalty for Sam Carl speeding the pit lane. Daz is out. The complacency gets to his head. That is a shame. Though I'm going to imagine people who need to pit now, this is probably your oh no, the virtual safety car stops, everyone's racing again. But ladies and gentlemen, the man who smashed practice, smashed qualifying, he's not finishing this race. And I think as much as people will be pushing up the grid, he's going to be disappointed with that. Obviously I didn't see what the issue was. I can't imagine no one was really near him because the gap was pretty big. And we now have a new leader in Fiesco. Come out of nowhere. Still to pit, I do believe, with a 14-second. Now this is interesting now because he's got a 14-second gap now. I'm not sure if he's pitted yet, so I may have to still be corrected on that. But if he hasn't, he'll go in soon. Then you look at sprint. Steve again, who I believe done very well in Azerbaijan. Correct me if I'm wrong, being shots. This could be really interesting now. So the gap can get to. There is a podium at stake. It is championship points at stake. Two Reynolds, the R226s are going to be laughing because they are both 1 and 2. Steve. Let's go a bit down the grid now. Brown in 4th. Carl right behind him in P5. So, like I say, there's going to be a bit more momentum now. The fastest man on the track, the whole race practice qualifies out. So now it's a bit more of a level playing field because the other guys, there wasn't too much in it really. So they know. With only a few laps left, we're on lap 17 or 26. There is positions at stake here. Riz up in 9th. Hog, P8. Samurais in P7, Bill to Matt, who was right at the back of the grid, now P6. People are starting to come up the grid. But obviously, this is very interesting. Obviously, like I say, I'm not 100% sure what happened to Daz. Hopefully we get some clarification on that. But like I say, it's quite an open field at the moment. Really near each other, but I'm going to stumble with the leader just because I'm not sure if he has pitted yet. Like I say, he may have. Because if he hasn't, this will be interesting for you. I imagine there's probably a controller for Daz's screen right now. Let's go and book with Fox. I think he was the closest for an actual race with another opponent. Steve, I think, is on the back of Rizzo. He's going for the overtake on the last straight before the last few corners, and he's got much better speed than McLaren and easily overtakes Rizzo there. Steve Penny. No, Rizzo fought back, to be fair. He stuck to his racing line. Obviously, clearly got the better grip, and no. Rizzo holds P9. Coming out of the corners, and McLaren smashes the Red Bull like nastily ways. Oh, but McLaren had to hold up. Rizzo's gone wide. Oh, Rizzo! Oh, Jesus! And Rizzo unfortunately went a bit wide. To be fair, that was good, good racing from Steve because he has got to brake, get out of the way. But like I say, it's just that McLaren. Speed out those corners. Just whoops them. That's a good piece of racing there. And let's move up the grip. On board with P2, the Ferrari. German sprint. Lap 18 of 26, so the yellow flag. And Brown, I think, must have had an incident going on because he's just been overtaken by Bill to Max down P5. I'm not sure what the issue was, but he wasn't going fast down a very fast track, or part of the track. He was going rather slow, so maybe an issue there with the car, but hasn't lost too many positions.